Welcome guys to another episode of the Rize. Now on today's one, we're going to be talking a little bit about what it takes to become the best athlete possible and also the best competitor possible. As I'm a big believer, there's a massive difference between being a good athlete and being a good competitor. And over the past 2-3 years now, I've worked with so many different clients in lifestyle transformations, bodybuilding preps, first timers, seasoned competitors. So my experience working with a load of different personalities, characteristic traits, to bring together this video in being able to help you move forward from this in using all the information possible to become either the best athlete or the best competitor possible. So being a good athlete and being a good competitor are two very different things. You can be an extremely good athlete, but if you can't display a level of confidence, stage presence, posing, which is almost like a subsection of bodybuilding, then you're never going to be the best competitor possible. We've all seen it when someone's got an amazing physique on stage, but they're not quite able to display that as well as somebody that's maybe not got as good a physique, but can pose extremely well, bring a level of energy and confidence to the stage that that other person may not be able to. So I've separated these into two sections, as I think being a good athlete and being a good competitor are two very different things. So being a good athlete, what I think takes to be a good athlete is sheer determination. There's going to be times across your journey when the whole process is going to seem overwhelming. You're going to be on a journey which isn't 8 weeks, it's not 12 weeks, it's not a year, it's a long time. You cannot even put a time frame on how much progress that you need to make or want to make in that time period, because bodybuilding and physique development is just such a long journey basically, and you never know how long you're going to be in it for. So that's why you're going to need determination, and determination to keep showing up week after week, month after month, year after year, is going to make you the best athlete possible. Because if you're only dedicated to, let's say, a diet or one growth phase, you're never going to make the best progress possible if you're not committed to the whole process in general. So I think determination is going to be the key first thing to being a good athlete. Second, and closely linked to that, is going to be work ethic. You need to be that type of person that no matter what's going on in your life, you're still going to be able to train. You're still going to be able to adhere to your nutrition. Obviously, there's going to be times when you will come off plan or you will deviate, but predominantly you need to have the work ethic to train, to eat, and to do what's necessary to make progress towards your physique. So having that work ethic installed in you from such a young age is so crucial to just making the progress you need to be the best athlete possible. Next one is going to be mindset of growth. Bodybuilding as a journey is forever evolving, meaning there's going to be ways you tweak your training over time. There's going to be things you learn about nutrition, whether that's how to optimize your personal digestion or ways to train more effectively. So you need to have a mindset for growth and be willing to listen, to take on other opinions, and ultimately, as I say, have that mindset where you're willing to improve. If you're always stuck in your ways and you're never willing to try and experiment new things, you're always going to limit yourself to some degree with how much progress you can make. Last one, which again is also probably the most important, is time. Again, like I mentioned earlier, your process of bodybuilding is never ending. There's always going to be more muscle you can put on. There's always going to be more you can do, whether that's optimizing your sleep, that extra 5%. So you need to be willing to give bodybuilding time. And to be the best athlete, there's no set limit between how much progress you can make. It's, again, forever ending. So you need to be of that mindset where you've got the work ethic, discipline, determination to do whatever it takes for as long as possible to get the results you need or personally want to make to succeed. Moving on to being a good competitor. So this one's going to be more specific to a certain few subjects. Now, stage presence is a massive one. If you're in a lineup of 10 to 15 people, what's going to make you stand out other than your physique? The energy, the confidence, the presence that you bring to that stage is going to be what makes you stand out alongside your physique through the prep. Everyone on stage, you'd like to think so, is going to be in shape. Everyone on stage is going to be bringing different strengths, different weaknesses. So you need to have a slight edge that's going to make you stand out as a competitor, to draw the judges' eyes towards you and get that little bit more attention, which could make the difference between you getting the extra point. So stage presence as a competitor is massive. As I referenced earlier, you can have the best physique on stage, but if you haven't got that presence to match the level that your physique's on, you may be missing out on certain attention that you could get from the judges, which would again score you that little bit higher. Next thing linked closely to that's going to be confidence. So you need to be confident the minute you walk out on stage. And the best way I like to explain this to my competitors is when you're on stage, there's no more you can do to, let's say, enhance your physique. You've pumped up, or you've wanted to pump up, you're going to be conditioned enough, your tan's going to be on point. Everything you can do to present your physique to its highest has been done. So the only thing left for you to do is be confident in that full prep that you've done, the lead up, the presentation in yourself, everything at that point should be done. So to go out there with confidence is something that you should feel pride about because you've done that whole prep, and your time is then to shine with the confidence that you can get from everything that you've done building up to that point. So you combine confidence, stage presence, you're already on to a massive positive before you even start getting judged. Next one is going to be away from stage, but it's still relevant to being a competitor, is an environment conducive towards prepping. If you're a seasoned athlete or someone that's going to be competing for years on end, you're going to want to make sure your environment is assisting in your preps, meaning that you can consistently have the most streamlined preps possible in being able to present a better package every single time. And environment does play a massive role in this. Environment in the gym, environment at home, environment with the relationships and people you're spending your time with is a super important one to be able to make sure that you can prep year on year, stress-free, and also keep evolving as an athlete and as a person. If your environment in the gym is everybody lifting less than you or never really pushing to that kind of max intensity, subconsciously you'll mirror that. And over time, that's going to reflect in your progress, how you present on stage. So make sure your environment is always checked to make sure that you've got the right people around you whilst you're kind of pursuing the journey of competing. Last but not least, it's not something you can massively control. It is and it isn't. It's going to be having a certain type of body throughout your whole prep. Now, there's things you can do to control what we call like a responsive body, meaning, as I say there, your environment's in a good place, the stress is low, you planned your timeline so you're not kind of doing too many shows back to back, but you need to have a responsive body to prep. And if you're continuously putting yourself in a situation where you're going into these shows nervous or the people that are surrounding you aren't necessarily bringing out the best in you, your body's not going to be responsive to prepping. So being a good competitor isn't just about all the training that you do, the nutrition that you do, it's everything around that that brings together being a good competitive athlete. So I hope them 2 points there give you a good insight. As I say, being a good athlete and being a good competitor, in my opinion, are two very different things. So master being a good athlete, then as you go through experience of competing, master being a good competitor. Now, bits leading on to that. So what's gonna together make you a good athlete and a good competitor is loving the process of bodybuilding. There's a quote I love, and my clients will always hear me say it, is the person that loves walking will always go further than the person that loves the destination. Meaning that if you love the process of bodybuilding, pushing yourself in your training sessions, eating well, feeling healthy, you're always going to get results. It is impossible to consistently train hard, consistently eat well, and not make progress. So you need to make sure that you're in bodybuilding for the right reasons. You enjoy the challenge of prepping. You enjoy seeing yourself from year to year get better. And when you love the process, as I say, the progress you can make is endless. So love the process of bodybuilding for what it is, and you're always going to be in a position to make progress. Next one, and it's a little bit of a controversial one, is having an ego. I think having an ego towards progression, bodybuilding, is something that can actually massively assist you. I think everyone always says, don't have an ego, you shouldn't be egotistical. But if you've got an ego, you're going to want to prove to yourself that you can do better, and you're going to want to prove to others that you can as well. So having an ego is going to be a strong internal driver to making sure that when people in the gym are watching, you are going to take the extra rep. When you are in the gym and somebody's maybe got the same weight on you, you're going to push for that extra rep. All these little things are going to help play into your ego to make you a better athlete overall. So setting your standards high and also having other people that set their standards high around you is going to motivate and push you on the days that you maybe don't feel like doing that. So having an ego and a standard that you hold yourself to is massively important to making progress, in my opinion. Next one is going to be thriving towards the challenges or trying to escape them. Now, there's two types of people when it comes to a bodybuilding prep or progress in general. There's the people that are going to be watching this video that will always lead into the challenges and push themselves to be better at every obstacle or hurdle that comes in the way. Or there's going to be people that will find excuses or ways out when the going gets tough. For you to be a good athlete and a good competitor, you need to lean into the challenges. On the days that feel hard, do not let it emotionally affect you. Know that there's going to be bad days, there's going to be good days. It's all about riding the wave and allowing yourself to get through it for when the good days come. And as I say, not thinking too much into it. If you've had a shit day at work, you don't feel up for your training session, go in and train anyway. You need to lean into these challenges. There's going to be days, let's say on a prep, where hunger levels are going to be through the roof. You need to just ride that out. Know that being hungry is part of being in condition. So when you're envisioning that package on stage where you're the most conditioned version of yourself, that should override that feeling of hunger and allow you to get through it. So you need to be the type of person that when hurdles, challenges, or struggles hit, you look at them as opportunities, not as an excuse to try and get away from them. And the next one is going to be being willing to listen to the right people. And I think in this day and age, this is a massive one, because let's say you can look at this from both angles. You're either in a growing phase and getting strong, or you're in a diet phase getting leaner. Everyone around you is going to be saying, oh, you're strong. How are you lifting that much weight? Or if you're dieting, oh, you look X weeks out. You look great already. These positive compliments they're good. They're going to push you, but they need to come from the right people. You want people that are going to compliment you, but also know you can do more. And again, having and listening to the right people is going to make sure that you're content, but also wanting more. And that's the right thing, is to be around the people that aren't just going to kind of blow smoke and tell you that, oh yeah, you're ready, you could compete next week, when you probably still got 4 or 5 weeks to go. You need the right people around you to make sure that you're always doing more, and you're also listening to the right people or the right opinions that mean the most, if that makes sense. So whether that's your coach, whether that's someone that's watched you go through preps before, or someone in general that's watched your, let's say, progression through a growth phase from the start to the finish. You need to listen to the right people that have been around you for long enough, not just any random person in the gym, or anyone that doesn't know you as a person, basically. Next one is going to be similar to that, which is blocking out the noise. Let's say, I'm going to use another example. You're going for your first competition. There's going to be people that are potentially putting ideas in your head that you may not be ready yet, or you shouldn't compete just yet. You need to be able to block out the noise. Listen to the right opinions, as I say, and make sure that you're not changing your pathway based on someone else's opinion. Have the plan that's set, block out the noise, and just go there until you get to the end result. Listen to the right people and make sure that other opinions don't affect the path that you're on. Last but not least, and this is the last one, I promise, is you're going to fall many times before you succeed. Meaning that there's going to be lifts in the gym that you don't get before you do get them. There's going to be days you slip up on your nutrition. There's going to be days where they don't go as perfect as you want them to be. And as good as it is to win all the time and to get things right, you need the days where you fall down or you don't necessarily do as good as you want to do to make yourself better. They're not failures, as everyone says, they're lessons. And it's so true in bodybuilding. Every stage that you go through, you want to be looking at the things you find the hardest as lessons to be able to improve and get better. And I think that's a great one to finish on, as it summarizes the bodybuilding journey as a whole, in that nothing's always going to go to plan. There's always going to be things which you can do better, or you can tweak that bit more to get that bit much more progress, if that's a thing. But that's ultimately what you want to do, is make sure that everything, or every lesson that you have through the process of bodybuilding, can be channeled into being a better version of yourself to make the most amount of progress. So I hope that makes sense, guys. There's going to be a few pointers and tips in there in how you can become better as an athlete and as a competitor. So any questions anyone's got, pop them in the comments, or drop us a DM on Instagram, and I'll come back to you on there. Thanks for watching.